Hello and welcome to Anskull Psychic Medium here on YouTube. Welcome to my circle of love. And do you know, every day I get asked lots of different questions, and I thought maybe it would be nice to post them on here. Maybe it's a question you already know the answer to, maybe it is somewhere where you can share your ideas, or maybe it's something you might have never heard of before. Whatever that is, I welcome what you have to say, which would be nice, and to share what knowledge I have with you too. So for the moment, I've noticed over the last couple of weeks, I've had quite a lot of people asking me, what is the difference between a oracle pack and a tarot pack? Now, for those of you who don't know quite what I do, I have my own holistic centre. So I have lots of people walking in through the day who are looking to buy tarot cards, oracle cards, or not quite sure what they want to buy. And it can be quite a dilemma because there are hundreds, literally hundreds and hundreds of different designs of tarot decks. There are also hundreds of different types of oracle decks. So I thought I would try and bring a little bit of clarity here for you. On this show, and bring in some oracle cards that I use and why I use them and why they're different to tarot. So, starting with the oracle cards, usually you find that oracle cards are around about 44 cards. Some I've seen at 54, but a lot of them are around about 44, 48 cards. Now, these cards usually have some have a long message on them, some have one word on them, and I'm using these as an example, which is the Doreen Virtue Messages with Angels. Now, these cards have been around a long time, and this deck I actually have had for many, many years and came from Australia as a present, actually. So before I knew the difference between tarot and oracle, to be honest. And when I started to look at them, I realised that for these, actually, there is only one word at the bottom. Just there, I think it says support. And the idea of the oracle card is to not restrict you in any way, shape or form as to where the picture on the card might be taking you. So, for example, you're given a word, the word is support, but more importantly, it's about what you see in the centre of the card. And as you can see, we've got quite a number of people. We have an angel, a guide, Native American Indian, we've got a leprechaun, we've got a fairy. So we've got quite a lot of different people here, or aspects of the spirit world or guides. And we've got the beautiful Mother Earth in the middle. So what this does is kind of trips you into what does that feel like, what does that say to me under the heading of support. Now, it may be that it doesn't, that's the key to start you off. So for me, that one word then I would look at and then flick into the picture and look at what's going on. Now, with everyone, with different people that I read for, it can mean a lot of different things. But the important thing for you as working with the oracle cards is that it brings forward something that's going on in that person's life. And what I will say, and there are other people that don't find this, but for me personally, is that if there is a lot of writing at the bottom of the card, I end up staying in my logical brain. So it doesn't really catapult me, if I can use that word, or take me to a place that creates a different energy. So for me, one word is all I need to sort of go into what do I feel, what do I sense, because if there's too much writing on a card, you can just end up reading out what it's saying as a message, which is fine. But for working with these in readings, I like to feel, sense, maybe look at a time when I needed support in my life and was a bit afraid to ask. So looking at your oracle cards, usually there is a little bit of writing or one word that enables you to really focus more on the picture, to allow your intuitive self to connect with what you feel, what you sense, and to bring out any information that you want to guide that person with. Like I say, there are lots of different oracle cards. I have quite a lot of oracle cards that I've used over the years. I have another set here. These are called Spirit Oracle, and these are quite nice. Now that one's just got joy on the front, yeah? And again, it's what it can sort of bring about, what you're feeling, what you're sensing with that. Now, interestingly, on the back, there's a whole message. I know it's back to front, but there's a whole message. So for me, I would rather not look at the back, but just look at the front and see where the front takes me, okay? However, maybe you're somebody that's starting off and you're sort of a little bit, well, what do I do? Maybe I've not got that far yet. Well, on the back there's plenty there to actually help you to get to a place with the person that you're reading for, or maybe it's a message for yourself. That's nice for a message for yourself, because sometimes people say to me, I can't read for myself, it's very difficult. So depending on the cards that you choose, depends on how you enter into that energy of someone you're reading for, or a message for yourself. So for me, oracle cards are very beautiful, very light, very bit generic, but everybody uses their cards differently, and I'm not saying in any of this that I am right and somebody's wrong. That is not how it works. It's how it connects with your energy. It's how you see and hear and feel the information coming through. So simple for me is great, because a simple picture will let me, off I go and just work with the energy, yeah? The more writing I find on a card, the more I can't leave my logical brain. I start to think logically about something, and that's not what I want. I want the intuitive connection with the person in front of me. Now, tarot cards are quite different, and I've got a pack here. These are one of my favourite packs, the Syro Machete Gilded Tarot Royale. And as we can see, we've got the sun sign here. Now, the tarot cards definitively have 78 cards, and they have 22 what we call major arcana, and the rest are minor arcana. They consist of 22 major arcana cards that tell the story of life, that tells the story of different circles that we go through, we travel through on our journey here. And the minor arcana are the suits. They have the cups for emotions, they have the swords for the intellectual thoughts, they have the batons for the action, the travel, and they have the pentacles for security, money, and friendship. Now, they are a structure, they are a set structure, and the tarot cards, people come to me and say, well, I don't know which ones to choose. The best thing you can do is to let yourself be drawn to the pictures, once again, to the colours. The reason I love these is because the colours draw me in. How does this make me feel? So for like on this one, it draws me to the solar plexus. It draws me into maybe the astrology with the planetary movements. It draws me into radiant days, happy times, besides the meaning of what it means is the sun. So the tarot deck is quite structured, and it has a format, and usually you can work with a set spread. If you use a tarot and you don't, that's fine. I sometimes struggle with a set spread, if I'm honest. But in relation to oracle cards, the tarot will give me dates and times and a more like a linear time with things. Numbers, that kind of thing, will come out through that using the numbers in the decks. Whereas the oracle cards don't tend to have numbers. So for timing and things like that, I use tarot rather than the oracle cards. The tarot is an absolutely fascinating mystical deck, and there are lots of things that people say about tarot cards. One is you shouldn't buy your own. I personally, and this is only for me, but would rather buy my own because I like to be drawn into the colours, the feel, the actions on the cards, how it resonates with me. Some people do like to have others buy their cards. The only reason why I like to buy my cards is because on the odd occasion where somebody has bought me some cards, I haven't really been able to work with them. So just remember that as a point in passing. Or you can go 50-50 and whoever wants to buy them for you, take them to where you're purchasing them and give them the money and let them buy them for you. There's ways around everything. So the tarot, like I say, have 4 suits. They have the major and minor arcana. There they are. And they tell a story of our lives and the roads we travel, the decisions we make, that kind of thing. So, having taught tarot courses, held tarot courses and taught tarot for many years, it never ceases to amaze me. They invigorate me, they inspire me, they reveal secrets. They are amazing, amazing cards. And absolutely adore all my packs of tarot that I've got. The oracle cards I adore for when I want to give an extra card. Maybe, like we say, if there's a lot of writing on a card, give them a message. Or it might be that, there we go, we've got the soulmate card, that it's just an add-on to the reading. At the moment when I do a reading, I actually pull an angel card. And it's really funny actually because I pull an angel card. Let's say, for example, we pull manifestation, and this is all about things that people want to happen, and it's about to happen. This is what I get with this card. And then we'll look at the tarot, and then we can see what it is in the tarot in more depth, in more detail, what's going on and when it will manifest. So I kind of use the two together in a private reading. But they are very different, different structure, and like I say, the oracle cards are just to allow your imagination, to allow that intuitive self to really get to feel what is going on with the person in front of you. Or if you're pulling a card for each day, that's a really good way to do it with the oracle cards for guidance through your day. So there's lots of different other ways and things that people adapt as they go along, but like I say, this is just a question that I've been asked. How do I choose between an oracle and a tarot? How do I know what I can work with and what I can't work with? If you are just entering into working with cards, an oracle deck is always fabulous to have. And as you get more acquainted with that, maybe then move into a nice set of tarot cards. Always have a look at them, always see how you feel. Colours and things are very important. Most people start with a Rider-Waite deck. I personally teach with this deck, and that is the Saros Marchetti. Again, this is the Gilded Tarot deck, but it's the smaller cards. Because I feel the colours just stand out so much better, and there's a lot more going on. So more designed to work with your intuitive self. Now, the Rider-Waite, you can work with all the symbols and things like that, but it's about your personal choice. And what I will say more than anything is that go with what you feel. Go with what feels right, what speaks to you. Allow your intuition to pick the cards for you, because in this work, it's about allowing that to flow. Don't think too much about it, because the more you think, the more you will talk yourself in or out of something, and it might not be quite right. So trust your intuition every time. So I hope that was of some use to some of you out there, and thank you for joining me on this little session. There'll be lots more coming up to do with tarot in the following couple of weeks. And if you liked the video, please leave me a comment, or if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're building a little community here. If there are any burning questions that you've always wanted to know, then leave me a note, and I will take a look at that as well, and maybe be able to answer it on here for you. It's all about sharing, it's all about caring, it's all about spreading the love, okay? So see you all very soon.